Hello, my beautiful friend. Betsy Gutting here. Welcome to my channel. I'm excited to share with you 5 empowering things to know about the December 2021 Gemini full moon. This is the last full moon of 2021, and it is ushering us, it is leading us through a doorway, through a portal, through an opening into a whole new energy. 2022 is an energy of balance, of harmony, of soul connection, stepping into our heart's desires. So this is a beautiful, as I said, doorway into this new energy, which I'm excited to get into with you in a moment. But first, I want to say hello and welcome. If you're new to me, I am an intuitive life coach, a soul guide, and a psychic astrologer. And I love helping to empower you to find and follow your heart's true calling. If you'd like a personal astrology reading or you'd like some coaching support, I've been a coach for over 20 years. I would love to support you. I will leave the links below to my website and how you can book a session or a reading online. Also, if you like my vibe, if you're looking for your soul tribe, I invite you to subscribe. All right, so this Gemini full moon is happening at 8:32 p.m. Pacific time, 11:32 p.m. Eastern time, December 18th. If you are somewhere else on the planet, it's likely that this moon is happening on December 19th. So adjust the time for wherever you are. And I love connecting with you. So let me know, where are you tuning in from? That would be so much fun. I love your comments. I love that connection with you. All right, so let's get into the 5 important things to know about this full moon. First of all, it's happening at 27 degrees of Gemini. So you want to look at your natal astrology chart and see where you have 27 degrees of Gemini. Now, if you have planets or points between 22 and 29 degrees of Gemini, or the first couple of degrees, 1 to 2 degrees of Cancer, you will likely feel this full moon more significantly. But we all have 27 degrees of Gemini somewhere in our natal astrology chart. So we will all be feeling this full moon. Now, this is a culmination of eclipse season. We just had the Sagittarius new moon solar eclipse. And this new moon solar eclipse in Sag was stepping into a new adventure. It was feeling the spark of our inner child. It was saying yes to a new chapter of life, a hero's journey even you saying, I don't know where this is going to go, but I really want to do this thing and I'm going to say yes to it. I'm going to give myself permission to do it. So that was the new moon we just had, the eclipse. Now, this Gemini full moon is a culmination of that, which means that it is wanting us to detox anything, let go of anything, release anything that is standing in the way of us saying yes to our hearts, of us saying yes to our calling, whatever is calling to you right now. We are formulating in this full moon a new self-image, a new story about who we really are. We are saying, and we are letting go of the old story that came from our conditioning, that came from our programming, that was limiting. So this is really a big new energy. Point number 2, this full moon is trining Jupiter. What does this mean? Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It's known as the good luck planet. It's known as the fortunate planet. It's a benefic in astrology. Whenever Jupiter makes positive energy flow to a lunation, like a full moon, it's a very good sign. It's a very good thing. And when I tuned into this Jupiterian influence, what I got was just this flood, this image of this flood of light, just this white light flooding in. And I have the sense that this is about receiving. Spirit wants us, this full moon wants us to open up every cell of our bodies and receive the light, because we're being upgraded. As I said, our self-image is ready to be upgraded. So it matches the thing that we want to do, right? So we're congruent so that our energy is in alignment and in vibration of what it is we want to manifest next. Also, the sun in Sag, which is across from the moon in Gemini, the sun in Sag is conjunct the galactic center. What does this mean? The galactic center is the center of the Milky Way. It's the center of our galaxy. It's a metaphor for you being the center of your life, the center of your own galaxy. And what I am tuning into with the galactic center and why it has significance is that it's an initiation, a soul initiation into the next level of your awakening. It's an ascension point. We are ascending. We are moving into the next level of awareness, of consciousness, of awakening. So we're moving up, we're moving on up, spiritually speaking. And that is big as well. And this reminds me of my Uncle Eddie. My Uncle Eddie, he was in his 90s when he passed. But the day that he passed, he was lying in bed. He had family around him. Unfortunately, I wasn't there, but my cousin shared this story with me, and it's so beautiful. Just before he passed, just before he made his transition onto the other side, he started to close his eyes. He was still lucid. He was still, very much in his body. And he said out loud, he said, "The light is good. The light is good." And it makes me tear up just thinking about it, because he was obviously transitioning and he was feeling the light pouring in, and the light is good. And so what I think why Spirit wants me to share this with you right now is there is much more light pouring into the planet right now, and it wants us to pull it into our bodies. It wants us to take it in, because it will take us to the next level of our own internal sense of power. It is building our confidence. It's building our courage. This is the unconditional loving light of Spirit, and it is very healing. Point number 3, Mercury. Mercury is ruling this full moon. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So this full moon is ruled by Mercury. Why does this matter? Mercury is having two conversations with two planets. The first conversation it's having is with Chiron. Chiron is in Aries. Chiron, you may have heard, is considered the wounded healer. What does that mean? Chiron is basically, when it's triggered, when there's a square like this, which is a conversation of tension, you may feel an ouch. You may be triggered through a conversation with somebody that you care about. You may feel like you got stung, like you got the scorpion sting. So Chiron, when Chiron is involved, there's sometimes a disappointment. There's sometimes a feeling of being let down. It triggers a core wound of abandonment, betrayal, or shame. Ultimately, this is a doorway to healing our hearts, but when it's happening, you may need to release. If it happens, it's not going to happen to all of us, but if you feel a trigger, especially in conversation with someone else, is how I think it might come up, you may just need to release. And what I want to encourage you to do is observe while it's happening and try to remember, oh, this is the full moon releasing that I'm doing in order to let more light in. This is a clearing. This is a purging. Now, the good news is, none of us really like to go through that release process. I'd be the first to admit it, but the good news is that Mercury is also having a conversation with Uranus, and this is a trine. This is positive energy flow. So I think with Uranus, which is kind of shakes things up, it can be a new possibility, a new solution, a new friend, a new something coming in that brings your spirits back up again, that makes you feel like, okay, there are new things coming. And it could even be something as simple as a holiday plan gets moved around or canceled or switched up. And then Uranus comes in and says, but we could do it this way. Let's do this instead. And, a little example is my daughter, my youngest daughter, said, Mama, I don't really want to exchange gifts right now. I don't really have a budget for it. And so I'll admit, I was a little bit bummed because I love the gift exchange process, but I said, okay, so how about Christmas Eve? We have dinner over FaceTime because she lives in another state. Let's FaceTime instead, and we can have dinner together and maybe do a card reading or something. And she said, okay. So then I was fine. So it could be something, something like that, where you have to stay open. I think the whole, the tip here is stay open. Ask yourself, well, what could I do instead if something gets switched up? Point number 4, Venus is going retrograde right after this full moon. Right after this full moon, Venus goes retrograde. Now I have a separate video, an entire video on Venus retrograde that I'll link below. Encourage you to listen to that. But in a nutshell, Venus is about what we like, what makes us happy. It's about beauty. It's about love. It's about romance. When Venus and money, it's about the things we love, our material things as well. When Venus goes retrograde, she's reassessing. She's looking at her values, especially when it goes retrograde in Capricorn, where Venus is. We're reassessing what matters to us, what we value. Venus in Capricorn wants self-respect. She wants to be recognized. She wants honoring. So these themes of respect, honoring, being cared for, being acknowledged, being appreciated, these are themes that will very likely come up during this Venus retrograde period. The fact that Venus is going retrograde right when the Gemini full moon, basically right after it happens, and this is when when a planet is strongest, we feel it the most right when it stations retrograde. Well, the fact that this is happening and that Chiron, the planet I just told you about, healing, the wounded healer, helping us heal a core wound, both of that's going direct. So Chiron goes direct, Venus goes retrograde, and what's most important for you to take away about this is that we are building self-trust. We are setting new boundaries. We're saying, nope, that's not okay with me. This is what I want instead. Nope, not doing that anymore. This is what I need instead. We're creating new parameters for self-love. We're up-leveling our self-love. And in Capricorn, Venus can be a little bit ruthless. Venus can say, you know what? Before I would have settled for this, but I'm so done with this. I'd rather spend time by myself than be with someone who's going to pull this kind of stuff. Seriously, she's done with certain things. She's cutting ties. She's cutting cords, especially when she's conjunct Pluto right now. I talk more about that in my video, but the other video that I encourage you to watch. But Venus and Pluto are conjunct right now, saying, time to clear it out, time to detox, time to get rid of anything that is no longer honoring who I have become, who I have grown into. We're up leveling. We have to do this in order to be, as I said earlier, in alignment with what it is we want to bring into the world next. Last point number 5, and then I'll pull a card for us. Point number 5, there's a heart healing going on with this full moon, a heart healing. Our inner child. There's a playfulness to Gemini energy. If you know Geminis, you know that they love to play. They love to have fun. There's a divine magical child within all of us that really gets activated during a Gemini full moon. We're being invited to bring that inner child delight back into our lives. Quick example, can you imagine with a 5-year-old child? You know how 5-year-olds in kindergarten, they love to paint? Most of them, they love to paint. And so you set up an easel, you give them paint brushes, you give them paints, and then you look at them and you say, okay, go ahead and paint now. And then you go, but it better be good. You better not make any mistakes. You think that 5-year-old's going to want to paint after you say that? No way. Contrasted with, you give this child an easel and a huge piece of paper and you say, have fun, do whatever you want. What colors do you like? You want red, you want blue, you want some green, you want some pink, you want some sparkly glitter you could put on that afterwards? Whole different vibe, whole different vibe. And so many of us have put our inner child's encouragement of that part of us on a shelf. So during this full moon, I invite you, number one, do something playful for yourself. Do something that reconnects you to your inner child. It could be creating something with your hands. Gemini is also about the hands and channeling energy through the hands. Number two, have a heart-to-heart talk with your inner child. Let your inner child know, I'm sorry if I've neglected you. I'm sorry if I've been too busy to ask you what you want. And I want you to know you haven't done anything wrong. So many of us, what our inner child needs to hear is, you haven't done anything wrong. And I want us to be friends again. I want us to be close. I want to know the things that you want to do that matter to you. So a little bit of journaling, a little bit of back and forth with your inner child will be extremely healing during this full moon in Gemini. Okay, let's pull a card. So I'm shuffling the cards. And I invite you to take a deep breath as I tune into your guides and my guides. And I ask, what do you want us to know about this Gemini full moon? And the card is the 6 of Discs. The 6 of Discs. So this is the same as the 6 of Pentacles. It's earth energy. Our pentacles are our money. Our pentacles are our bodies. It's everything in our physical reality, but pentacles are our earthly riches. So I love that you can see this is somebody receiving a massage. And it looks very beautiful. And there are 6 different mandalas around this person receiving the massage. And the first thing that comes to me is, we're going into the 6th universal year. That's an energy of balance and harmony. And as I said at the outset of this video, it's all about receiving. We're being asked to receive the light. We're being asked to receive the bounty. And Jupiter is ruling this, which is our fortune, our bounty. And so I feel like this is saying, let yourself receive in any way that will make you feel nurtured, that will make you feel well cared for, whether it's through massage, whether it's through meditation, whether it's through walking on the beach or through a forest or just being out in nature, whatever makes you feel whole in your body, in your physical body, in your spirit, in your mind. Take time out. Take time out to nurture and care for yourself. I'm very excited for a beautiful full moon in Gemini. This is such a beautiful portal into 2022. I thank you for your presence, your time, and your energy, for your likes, for your comments, for your shares, and your subscribes. And I have a gift for you. Go to my website and download my free guided meditation, Returning Home to Yourself. And I will be back very soon with another video for you. And I'm sending you all my love.